Greetings, everyone. Merry Christmas. Greetings. Greetings, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays, and Happy Day. Happy Day. It is Thursday. It's a good day. It's a good day. For all of those that may not celebrate or having a hard time, we sending out good vibes. Good vibes today. You guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Pardon me, my ears are all pluggy. They feel like they're gonna... So if I go, I don't know. My ears are being weird. My ears are being weird. Let us say hello to the ones that I can see. Anna Moret, hello. Kim in Alaska, long time no see. Hello. Terry Cooper, hello. Christine, how are you doing? You guys, it's Use the Things Thursday. So we're going to use the things. We're going to use the Better Press. We're going to do the Better Press. I hope that's fine. I hope that's fine with you, because that's what we're doing. Now, oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? So, there's a thing out there where you will find that some people say you can use glimmer plates, hot foil in your Better Press. And then some people will say no. Spellbinders says no. So it's a at your own risk kind of thing. And this is why. Hot foil plates came out first. They came out into the market first. They get really hot. The texture on them is just metal. Straight up metal. They get hot. They press the foil into the paper, going through the hot foiling system. So it's a totally different application. Then they're like, hey, we need to do a letterpress. We need to do better with the letterpress. Because there were some letterpress systems, letterpress, that were clunky, not too easy. Yeah, taping, it was not easy peasy. So they came out with Better Press with a textured plate, because they weren't thinking about getting them hot. They were thinking about inking them. In order to ink them, they need to grab the ink. These don't grab the ink as well as these. I mean, they can. But they're not as fabulous as this. So these ones, they need the heat to transfer the foil. So these ones are a little bit thicker. They're thicker than these. So when you put thick paper with these, it gets even thicker. And when you put a thick paper with this, it's still skinnier than this. So that's why they're saying, don't tempt it. But we did. We did the last time we used this. We took out all the shims and we used one anyways. But if I break it, that's on me. I can't call them up and say, look, I ran this through and it broke. They'll be like, we've been telling people don't run them through. But what they have found is you can put this on the glimmer, because remember, it's thinner. It's thinner. So you might actually need a shim if you put this on the glimmer to heat it up to attach the foil. So if you heard that you can foil with these, but yours may not be coming out just right, it may need a shim, because this is thinner. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Thinner, thicker. And not all are created equal. So you might run Spellbinders through the Better Press and it's fine. But you might get a different company, like Pink and Maine. Who did I just have here? There's different companies that do hot foils, right? Different companies. Like this one here. Essentials by Ellen. It might be even thicker than the Glimmer. So keep that in mind. Different companies Even Spellbinder's production might be a little bit different, because this is an older one. And I feel like these are thicker than these, even though they're both Spellbinders. Like, this one should be pretty heavy, and it's not. But this, you can feel the heft in there. So, would I try this one in my Better Press? I don't know. Maybe. Because I'm that way. But yeah. So, keep that in mind, too. Even in the same manufacturer, if they had to maybe find another manufacturer, the metals could be different. And again, inking these up is going to be different than these, because these have a texture to grab the ink. Okay. Whereas these do not. Ooh, let's do this one, because this is a Crafter's Companion. And I never... Oh, you know what? It probably never foiled right because we used the wrong thing. But like this one, we could do multiple colors on. Just look at that. I know it's huge. It's huge. And the problem with that is, look, for an A2 size card, it's too big. So what are we going to do? We're going to go get our stock of bigger paper. Because this girl, she buys things in bulk and does all the things. Ooh, you know what else we can try? We'll try watercolor paper, because that's thick. It's a thick paper. It's not as smooth per se as this. Even the hot press. Hot press, it's a different kind of smooth. Paper's paper. Not all papers are created equal, but we're gonna try a different company through there. Potential of breakage. Be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Where's it at? Yeah, because you guys, when I first moved to Ohio, we had a Tuesday morning. And they sold letterpress stuff for the letterpress. So I was able to get my hands on 12 by 12 letterpress paper. I know, right? Do we need a 12 by 12 Better Press? Could you imagine the die cutting machine? I mean, the Platinum is already big, but could you imagine a die cutting machine that could cut a 12 by 12 sheet of paper? And you guys are like, yeah, it's called a Cricut. It's called a Silhouette. It's called a Brother Scan and Cut. No, die cutting. Die. But, yeah. So we're going to chop this down. Chop, chop. Because we can do it. Yes! Hello, hello, Adelaide. How are you doing? Tamara. Tamara Bell. How are you? Sometimes I look at the things and go, huh? I hope you're all doing well. Oh, Maddie the Emptiness Scrapper. Hello, hello. Yes, I am having a wonderful day. I got up early. Gemini Pro. Watercolor is great for letter pressing. I have done it so myself, says Gaz, right? I have not, because I don't use it enough. You guys, I bought it because it's cool, and I don't use it enough. So we're going to measure this. You stay put. That one scares me. We're going to measure this really quick. To be comfortable. We're going to do 5.5, because this is almost 5 inches. Almost. Not quite. Almost 5. Now, is it 5 square? Yeah. So it's almost 5. So I want a little bit of wiggle room. Because you go to use these things and the paper gets a little twerky. So we're going to cut 5.5, which is fine. Because then we could put it on a 5 by 7. Okay, because we already know it is 5. So even though we're cutting it big, we can fussy cut around and it will be almost 5. So we could put it on a 5x7. So we're going to do 5x5. 5.5 by 5. We're making squares. Psh. Come on, you guys. We're making squares. I'm just going to go ahead and make that a square too. Make it squares, squaresy squares. Which means we get 4 squares. 5.5. Oh no, we need to do this first. Let's cut this first. 5.5. That'll give us a banner for something. I save these, you guys, because your sentiments, if you need to test colors, they're great. I do. I save them a little bit too much sometimes, but it's fine. 5.5. And then 5.5. Let's cut that off because I just bent that corner. I bent it. Okay, we're gonna put Scary. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not putting Scary Chopper away just yet. Just yet. Please hold. That's watercolor paper. Watercolor paper. And this one is 300 GSM, 140-pound watercolor paper. Letterpress. Do we know what this letterpress is? It's like up there. It's up there. It just says letterpress paper. I would say it's up there in the 140, 150. It's plushy. It's plushy. So we're going to make a 5.5 by 5.5. Look it. Yes. Okay. So we can definitely tell the difference though. Color, texture. See that little watercolor texture? The other side is a little bit smoother, but again, a different kind of smooth. I hope that makes sense. Ramona! Hello. How are you doing? Okay. So butter press. You don't need heat. You don't gotta plug it in. Okay. Don't gotta do that. But it does have 3 shims. I take the 3 shims out. Okay. And then you're left with the magnet. This is magnet. Okay. And then your magnet. Bloop. Oh, I know, right? I have a piece of acetate cut sort of a little bit small. It's fine. You can cut your acetate to go over this mat. I do it for cleanup. You can work with this however you want. If you want the handle to you, so you can do the things, right? And then we've got our guide, and which is in upside down. So if that too bothers you, make it so you can read everything. I don't know. I just fake it till I make it. I don't know nothing. A2, A7. Is A7? Yeah, I think it's 5x7. I don't know these things. So we're going to set this in the center of the A7 mark. See, look at that. 5x7. See, I told you it was just a little bit. And we can kind of eyeball. And then we can see we didn't clean that very well. What's wrong with you guys? I did get my gift. Thank you, Elizabeth and Cordelia. Yes, thank you, Miss Cordelia, for making a birthday celebration even more fun with your new and gently used items that you gifted to Ramona. Okay. We're going to kind of eyeball it. I mean, you could literally put a thingy in there and see if it's all straight. But who wants to do that? And then again, look at that. If we turn the things so we can read them, okay, because that is not readable. That is still not readable. But we get it down here. Oh, look, we can read it. And then A2, A7, right there. Okay. So when we go to put our paper on, we're going to fit it into the A2 this way, okay, and then the A7 this way. A2 this, anyways, we're going to see that this is going to be A2, 5.5, and then for the A7 part, we're going to make sure that our paper goes over evenly on both of the A7 marks. I hope that makes sense. So when we're on here, okay, there's our A2. We're going to make, oh wait, we need to have our, let's get our mint tape out of here. Or not, because it's being bad. Mint tape, okay. So we're going to, this is going to be, how are we going to do this? We're going to do it like this, so we can read it. We're going to do everything so we can read it. So we're going to make sure that our paper is between the A2 marks. So I need to slide that down. And then we're going to make sure it goes over our A7 evenly-ish. So we're just going to line that up right there. And we already know it's not going to go all the way to the edge. So we can tape our paper down on the edge. You want to put the tape where the plate is not. Okay. Put the tape where the plate is not. For us, we could do the top a little bit more because there's a little bit more room there, but I just did it on the side because there's that. And then there's that. And everything's going to sit because we have it magnet, we have it taped. And these two you can see right through. They're not touching. They're not touching. They're not touching. Oh, you got some bad rain. Abraham! It's weird being in a different time zone. I am still on California time zone. I thought I was in for bad weather, but here in Southern California, got some really bad rain. Were you in a different time zone from, because I know you're California. I guess I'm not fully understanding. Or it's just a different time zone for me versus you. I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to ink it. What can you ink it with? Well, this is not a ink textured plate like our Better Press. Our Better Press plates have a funky texture that allows... Oh, you're in Kansas City! When you leave Kansas, we can say you're not in Kansas anymore. Sorry. Right? I know. So you're going to have to play around. Do we know what inks will ink this up? You play around and you find out. This lady is going to come up here. And we're going to get the sticky inks. They're made up of different stuff. So they don't clean as nicely as our Simon Hurley inks. right? Simon Hurley inks, they're a water-based, water reactive. We put them down, we hit them with water, they clean right up. These, however, by the Better Press, are waterproof. What does that mean? It means a lot of things. If you're using a waterproof ink, like this, that means you can go in after you press it and add water and your lines are gonna stay put. I know, right? So there's that. Archival ink. Also, if we look right there, waterproof. Again, we can ink it, pull it off the plate, let it dry, and add water. Is that what we want to do today? I have no idea. I feel like somebody sent me, there's Cosmic Sky, Wild Honey. I don't know. I don't really have, oh, look, Evergreen Bough. Evergreen Bough. We're going to use these two. We're going to use Mulberry for the words, and we're going to use Evergreen Bough for the thing. Do you have to use archival and Better Press? No. Are they going to give you a little bit better results? Maybe. We're going to go ahead. I don't know if this is going to work, to be honest. Like, we're going to add this Mulberry in there. This plate might be, and you know what? We're going to add it we're going to come out just a little bit. But you can see it's adding the ink. Well, maybe you can't see. I can see. I add. I had mulberry wine before. The ink looks like the color of the wine. That's pretty. It's kind of a reddish brown. It's a deep color, and I like it. I don't know what color Evergreen Bough is, but an evergreen and a bough, they're leafies. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come in here, and we're going to gently smoosh it around. These are felt. I love felt. You can kind of get a little grungy with it. Okay? They designed them this way. Okay? You can't do this with a foam pad. You can't go squishy squishy with a foam pad. Foam pad, you would go tappity tappity. Okay? Because you don't want to catch your foam on these edges. The felt, well, if you catch a corner of the felt, you just push it back down. But we will try one with some Simon Hurley felt pads, not my foam pads, because you can't make me. But we probably will anyways, just to show you. Because you would just do tappity taps and not swirly swirls. And being in person, we can see that maybe that one's not inkied up very much. And again, we're doing this at our own risk. This is not a Better Press plate. It's a crafter's companion. So it could be too thick. It could be too thick. And it could smoosh the things. But we're gonna do it anyways because, well, it's mine. I bought it. I do what I want. Okay, we're gonna get this little guy. We're gonna get this little guy, which we're gonna bling. We're gonna add bling to this guy and our other guy, and then I'm gonna cry because, you know, my big Spellbinders Platinum is white. I wish now it was black, but I don't think I'm gonna bling that one up. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so we have it. We're sending it through. I'm gonna go kind of slow Because if you ever sent a die cut sandwich through the machine and went, oh, there's a little bit too much tension, let's not do that. That's what I'm feeling for right here. It's actually not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. See, it didn't even pop. Pop. It didn't even pop out. So, but again, I took out all the shims. 1, 2, 3 shims. Pulled them out. Pulled them out. Does that mean you can craft underwater? I don't know. What? Okay, so then there's that. And then we're going to close this and set it aside because we need that. Okay, and then we're going to flip. Already? Ready? Ready to look with me now. Oh, look at that. Is it perfect? No. Is it really cool? Heck yeah. And this is our watercolored paper on the textured side. Okay, this is the textured side. Look at that. Look at that. And see, we had our tape, right? Where the plate is not. Put the tape where the plate is not. And so we definitely have wiggle room. Look at that. We have wiggle room to do some die cutting. There's a little bit of a... Sometimes the felt has fuzzies. And that fuzzy... It made a glub. It's all right. It's all right. I like it, though. If the text... I mean, you could totally go over some of this if you want to. I like the lightness of it. And again, when it dries, oh, you bought yourself the scalp for your birthday present, but girl, open it up. Put it on your desk. Mine's right over there, which I can't get to because the water's in the way. So then we can do some things, right? So we go to Simon Hurley's Goodies and we get Ivy League because it's a glorious color. We can smoosh it down right there, just like so. We can grab some agua. Our water's kind of dirty, but we're still going to go in. We're going to go in. We're going to go in. And we're going to add some water to that. Because this is watercolor paper. We can go in there. And we can add more color to our thing, and the original colors are going to stay. That one got a little too dark there. We're going to go whoop, just like so. Whoop, let that do its thing. That is so cool. Like, I'm just playing around. Would you do this? I don't know. I'm doing it. It's probably just going to go in my journal or something. Will I make a card with it? Probably not. So you can add more color if we need more color. Well, we're just going to get more color. You can use the re-inker right out of the bottle. Just know it's way more concentrate. We can go in with look at that. So our color stays put. Okay, our color stayed put because it's waterproof. And you can drop all sorts of fun things, right? Let's do a little bit of fake plant because we like that too. Maybe we're gonna come in and add some fake plant to our plant. you can, of course, use actual watercolors. Real watercolors are going to act differently than the Simon Hurley inks because they're ink. They're not watercolors. But we can use them like a watercolor. Just know that the results are going to be a wee bit different. A wee bit different. So I added a little bit of green to our greenery because we can do whatever we want. Always, no rules, just guidelines. Like the guideline of don't use those unless you're willing to potentially break your fingy. But it worked just fine. No shim. Or yeah, I guess I could add a shim because it actually didn't press into the paper. So yeah, I would start by adding one shim because we don't have the indent but this is the watercolor paper. That's a watercolor paper. But look at. And then we could add, we could keep going with that. But there's that one. So we're going to do the same one. We're going to do the same one. This is why I have the acetate. See the acetate? Boop, boop, boop. Acetate. Water. Spray. I know. It's waterproof. So you need different chemicals to clean it. If you want it super clean. But look at that. It's coming super clean. Probably because it's metal and it doesn't want the stuff to stick to it. Okay, so it's all nice and clean. All nice and clean. We're going to get our acetate put back. Which also, another thing with the acetate, it helps to lift. Because sometimes they get a little stucky. So it helps to lift that off of there. There's our plate. There's our mint tape that is wearing out. I've had that on there since I got it. It's fine. We're just going to do that. We're going to place this again in between the A2 this way and then the A7 this way. So it doesn't go over one side or the other. Like so. Like so. And then we're going to get our better press, which is now backwards. Okay. I cannot read that. It is backwards. We're going to get our piece of paper. This one is a letterpress paper. Okay. It's maybe thicker than the watercolor paper. So we're going to be a little bit more careful. I'm going to make sure my paper is between these guidelines for the A2. And then it's going to be even for these guidelines on the A7. Is it even? It's close enough because we have enough room. We have room to trim it down. And we're going to put our tape. We're going to put our tape where the plate is not. Okay. My plate is not touching there. And then we're going to ink this up. Let's ink it up with, we're going to try some Ivy League. This is a foam. Again, foam. We're tapping the foam. Because it's a different ink. I'm not gonna, you guys, I got rid of my little Tim Holtz Distress mini ink cubes. They would be perfect for this, for the little bitty areas. However, I think I'm gonna get a nice rainbow color of the Better Press archival mix. I think. Because if I continue to use the things like this, I feel like I need that. You know? Because those are definitely, I mean, look, I love these inks, but we're getting kind of smushy with the foam, right? And we know that Simon Hurley is not doing any more felt, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna ink up our square. I think it looks pretty good. We're going to take our rag. That's Ivy League. I think we're going to take our rag and just wipe off our letters a bit. Okay, we wiped off those letters. And then this is another problem, right? We're going to use Love Struck. Can we get it in here? I'm just trying to use the corner. I mean, it's doable, but we had it inked up really quick with the little bitty cubes, right? Ooh, you know what? And these are not waterproof. Not waterproof. So I can't just willy-nilly add some water to this. But we can do something else, and I'll show you if you need to add more color later. Because if they're not waterproof, then they're the other proof. The other proof. Do we know what the other proof is when we're doing? Gaz, my friend, no, I do not have any Lisa Horton. I have Simon Hurley, and I have these little bitties. I have given away all of my other inks because I just was not reaching for them. And I have some oxides. I have a nice collection of oxides. I actually might have too many blues in my oxides. I might be thinning the blues down. I might. I don't know. But yeah. At least one. Because I have 3 stands of oxides, but one ink doesn't fit in the stand. Because I have one too many, I think. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. Does ECR have... oh, wait. Sorry. I bought myself a Scout. Haven't... Does ECR or anyone suggest one? So I might be missing a comment. Are you looking for videos on using the Scout? The other proof is alcohol marker safe. That's right, Maddie. Alcohol safe. If you want to, oh, you know, that's a really good idea, using a brayer. We can do that too. So I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna clean that up. I'm not gonna clean that up because I don't want to spend all day doing this. If it gets in there, it gets in there. And then we're gonna put this down because that is the orientation in which I worked with it. Okay. It'll be fine. Don't worry. It'll be fine, my friends. Okay, we're going to open the Scout. Yeah, I actually use the Scout quite a bit. He works just like everybody else, you know. The shim is really easy. That went through really easy. Do we want to go again? Probably not. You know, we probably shouldn't do this because it might shift when that little pop, that little jolt at the end, but we did it anyways. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, in doing tests, that's what we do. This watercolor paper is not as thick as this. That's why we had that little pop at the end, because this paper is thinner than this. This paper could use a shim because it is not pressed into the paper. It's like just kind of sitting on the top like a stamp. This, however, we had that little pop at the end of our rolling because it actually pushed into the paper. You can actually feel the texture on this one. Okay. It's always better to start thin and add in. Better press fit in a Scout? No. Better press? No, Scout is just a little baby guy. Come here, Scout. So this is Scout. Scout, little baby Scout, and that is the size of that. But if you maybe please hold. Please hold. I don't know. Should we? Should we? Could we? Could we? You hardly use your Scout because most of what you die cut requires more pressure. You must be using like super intricate stuff, because everything I've run through my Scout, like butter. Butter, 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 butter. Throw a shim in there, sir. I don't know. But look at that. Now, if we got this wet, it'd be a hot mess. However, because it is not watercolor safe, it is then presumably not 100% true. Sorry, alcohol marker safe. So then we can say, oh, we want some red berries. And then we could get our red berries in there, and that green is not going to go anywhere because the green is water effective. There's no water in these. It's pigment and alcohol ink. That's why they stink. Although, you know, Ohuhu and Arteza don't stink that bad. I mean, there is a slight smell, but my nose, it never really is irritated by it. Okay, so then we have our berries. And you can do your berries any color you like. I am using red. It's not my favorite color, but for berries it is. Because these are hips. I mean, hips, berries, whatever. These more like hips, like rose hips or whatever. Okay, so then you have your R8. You're going to put that back, and then you're going to grab a green because, well, this is... And then you can slap in some green, just like we did with our... did I have another one of those? Yeah. Okay. You can add in some color. It doesn't have, you could like follow the lines, but if we're kind of going like we did with our what's his face, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Ugh. We're gonna get, see, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. We're going through and we're giving all of these ones this kind of color. And then we're going to go and get what we're going to get. these ones here. And we're just following the direction of the needles, okay? And we're just finding all the needles that are similar to keep them in the same color family. Okay. Doesn't have to be spooktacular. Let's do this guy here, and then we'll call this one good. Oops, not with that though. Ugh. And since this one is kind of tappety, we'll just kind of like tappety that in there too. Look at us, not even, and look, sometimes just, oops, let's get this guy too. It's probably not that one. And then we could add maybe a little bit of brownish color. I don't know. Is this one going to be okay? Yep. Something like this, you could get your color cube out and use different colors. The leaves don't have to be green, but and the branchies don't have to be brown, but you can do whatever you want because it'll be your picture. You know what I mean? Look at how messily that is. I mean, if somebody took a microscope to this, they would be like, this girl did not stay in the lines. This girl doesn't even look like she tried to stay in the lines. I mean, look at that guy. We just, because yes, it does not have to be perfect. Oh, yes. Got you. Kelly Doyle, hello. Yeah. Because my Spellbinders from scrapbooker.com is black. And the Scout is black. And now I'm sad because my Platinum is white. I want a black Platinum now. If anybody has a black Platinum, we can trade machine for machine. No, I'm joking. Oh, we're not putting that down because, we're gonna try something because that was really nice, right? That was super nice. We like that. I like that. Okay, so here's, you guys hit my brain pan. We're gonna do that. Because if we can get another use out of it, right? Why not, right? Come here, you. Ugh, don't harass me. Come here. Okay, so we're gonna do attempts. We're gonna do practice. In order to practice, we need practicey things. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take these, and I'm gonna cut a few of these because we need to try. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Because we don't know. Now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take this. We're gonna open this up. First things first. We have our plate, right? Embossing a cut shape. We're going to go for that. This is probably thicker than a die, but we're going to attempt. And we're going to do it gently. So we're going to come in here and we're going to look for the B. And it says we need the B, the paper, and the doodad. I'm not even going to ink it. I'm just going to see if it presses. And then we need the embossing mat and the adapter plate. I'm going to skip the embossing mat because I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to ruin this. So that's loose. That's like loosey-goosey. Super loose. Did it do anything? it's so faint you can't even see. So then we're going to do this, but we don't want to get ink all over this. You might, I don't. So I'm going to get a piece of copy paper. I'm going to put a piece of copy paper in here because I don't want ink on my shim, right? Because we're going to set that down. We're going to set that on there and say if this has got ink on it, we want to be careful not to move things around. So then we would set it on gently. And then we're going to go, but we're not going to force it because I would be so sad if I broke my stuff. I hear some creaking. I hear some creaking. But what did we discover? Let's find out what we discovered. That's what we heard creaking. Oh, wow. Holy wowzer. Look at the embossing. Hold on. Look at the embossing on that. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? I'm a dork. There would be no ink showing through on my mat because the paper would cover it. We don't need that. I'm such a dork. But holy magolies, look at that. Isn't that glorious? Ooh, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape these two together. I'm going to tape these two together. Why? Because here's my thought, right? If this plate is sliding around when I'm trying to put things down, it's gonna cause havoc with my ink, right? So we're gonna go ahead and tape this down. Nothing spectacular, guys. It's not gonna add to the pressing because it's on the ends and our design's gonna be in the middle. So we're gonna hold this in place. And look, it's not even, you can use your mint tape, you can use whatever. So now that is one unit. That's not sliding all over. We're going to put that on there. Okay, we're going to hope that it doesn't move. Oh, so close, but yet so far. Is that one? No, that one, of course not. Why? Why? Do I want to use that? No, I don't. Please hold. Please hold. Let me grab. Oh, it's right here. I don't even have to go anywhere. It's right here. Okay, so we can cut this in half ish, right? So thick. Okay, we'll straighten that up later. So we have that, and we're going to set that there. We're going to ink this up. We're going to ink it up. We're going to use this lovely mulberry color. Nice mulberry color. We're going to set that on there. And I did this way because I don't want ink all over this. You saw we got ink everywhere. So I don't want ink all over the place. Now this, you know what we can do to alleviate movement on that, right? Let's get a piece of this. And we'll make like a little hinge. But we're going to put the tape where the die is not. Like, we have a lot of room, so the die is not going to be 100% up there. Okay, so we're going to tape that. Kind of straight. My cut is crooked. Then we're going to take this. We're going to tape it next time before we add the color so that we can just set it down. Don't mind me. Okay. And I just put my fingers in it because that's how I roll. So we're going to add the ink back in there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. And a little bit more up. And okay. And then we're going to go in with these. We used our silicone. We're going to get that right in there so nobody moves around. And then we're going to go through. And it is tight. It is tight. Sandwich is a tight sandwich. So, are you guys ready to look with me? Oh, the embossing on that. That is so deep. That's not going anywhere. Oh my goodness. So here's the thing. It embosses everything. All of the voids, all of the things. But again, this is super duper thick cardstock. You could do this easily with thinner cardstock. And we're going to get a thinner cardstock because this is letterpress, right? That is just scrumdiddlyumptious. Look at that. But it embossed so much, so much. So we're going to go with a thinner paper. Now that you have to please hold while I grab some thinner paper. Oh, do I have any thinner paper? I'm out of my 65 pound. We're going to use 80 pound. I mean, it's much less than that, but I don't have my 65 pound. It's fine though. It's fine. So we're going to cut this ish. Because this girl can't cut a straight line. Let's try this. Okay. So this is 65 pound paper. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to get that on there. We're going to put that there. We're going to do a little hinge where the die plate is not. And then we're going to ink it up. Am I going to clean it? No. I have no desire to clean it. It'll be fine. Oh, and then you get your little fuzzies. Got to give it a haircut every now and then. Grab those little fuzzies, throw them in the garbage, because they will make an inky mess everywhere, and we don't want that. I got a little bit of ink right in there. I'm going to take that out. Got a little bit of ink right in there too. And then we're going to put our ink back on the die. And I keep calling it a die. No, it is not a die. It is a glimmer hot foil plate. And we're just going to leave it because we got ink everywhere. I don't know why we're getting ink everywhere. Did we get ink all over the place on the other one? I feel like I didn't. I don't even know where the other one went. Typical me. I had it and then I lost it. Where'd it go? Anyways, I don't think we had ink all over the place, but we're going with a lighter pound. We're going from 140 to 80. Okay, we have our embossing plate, the embossing squishy, and then, which is E and D. Ed. We're putting Ed on. Ed is going to go to work. Hello, Ed. Thanks for working your magic. And then we're gonna squish it through. Still a little snug. That creaking is the paper. Creaking is the paper. Oh man. That's kind of grungy interesting because we have ink all over. I got ink all over on this one. And then it cracked. It cracked. Look at that. Are we sad? No, we're not. But just know that. If I could find the first one. Like, I don't understand where these things run off to. So we did those. We have that, which goes, that goes with that. Where is, oh, it was taped to that. Okay, so even though this is thicker, even the 80 pound, the one, I would say like 140 or whatever that is, it does push all the way through. However, this paper handled the pressure much better. It did not crack as this one did crack. Would misting it help? Here's the thing. If you're going to mist the paper, you have to mist the back side of the paper, because if you mist the front side and you're using the ink, it's going to affect it, right? Okay, I did wipe it a little bit on that one. So let's try this. That one went on really nice. Look at that. Ooh, so nice. So nice. Again, I would hinge it. So to help it stop from moving. We're going to get this card. We're going to mist the back side of it. Okay. Probably added too much water. There's a little fuzzy right there. Ed, we're going to get Ed and bring him to work. Say, Ed, gotta get busy, sir. We're going to set this. Did it wiggle and move? Maybe. Should I have taped it down? Probably. Sounds like it's breaking the paper yet again. Is that fine? Absolutely. Do we care? No, not really. Okay. Taping it down definitely works. Watering definitely works. Look at that. It is the same piece of paper. And I probably added a lot of water, but that's fine. But see, if we'd have taped it down and then sprayed the back of it and then added our plate, I think it would have been much better. So yeah. So you guys, if you're crazy like me and you're like, you have the better press and you want it to work more, you could, at your own risk, and I'm telling you, remove the shims. Remove the shims and test your plate first. This is a hot foil plate. They do not recommend them through the machine because they're fatter. They're fatter. We took out the shims, and this one we found out is fatter than the other one. And when you add thicker papers, they're really, okay, thin papers, thick papers, it makes a difference. So take out the shims until you figure it out. So I know with my machine, your machine might be different, that when I use watercolor paper, I need at least one shim if I want it impressed into the paper. If I'm using the letterpress paper, no shims, because it pushes it in. It would be too much. Okay, so your papers, your plates, they're all going to be different. You're going to start everybody out with no shims. At your own risk. If you run yours through and it breaks your machine, it's not my fault because you knew. We heard it from everybody. Don't do it. But I did it anyways. And then we found out and you can do this with the bigger ones too. You can do this with the bigger ones. So maybe you just want a couple of the plates to kind of see before you get a letterpress. Buy the letterpress plates. Buy one that fits in your machine, right? Better press. I keep calling it letterpress, and I do apologize, but technically that is what it's doing. It's pressing the letters into the thing, but it's the better press. So if you get a better press plate, because you have the foil system, you can buy them, foil them, run them through this. And if you're like, oh, I want to do this all the time, but properly, then you can invest in one of these. So there's 2 ways to impress. There's three ways to impress now on the paper. Better press, embossing, sandwich, and then your hot foil system. So how fun is that? Had to move upstairs because oh, he's so bossy. Just put a little foil. Okay, so you could put a little double-sided tape. You want it so thin. You want it so thin because you're adding pressure to that particular point, right? So you could put a little bit of double stick tape there because that's super thin. Put that on there. Put some double stick on there so it doesn't move around. And then I still would hinge the paper because that paper, it moved quite a bit. And if you hinge it, it's not going to go anywhere. If you tape that down and it's not going anywhere, then you could do a lot, right? You could do a lot. You could put a little mark on here where your paper line goes and then tape it, or figure it out like, oh, let's put it under the C, tape that down, and then that would be taped into place. And then all the time, you could do so many. You can always figure the things out. But yeah, that was fun. Let's do one more. What one do we want to do? I think we're gonna do better press because Scout was such a good boy. He did a good job. We fed him the sandwiches and he did good. We're gonna put him away, Put him away. Sorry, Scout. Time's up, sir. Put you plates away. Okay, we're gonna clean that off. Okay, and then, wait, where did you go? Were you in here? I don't think this was in here. Where was this one? Oh, no, you go in here. You go in here, because you're two different things, but we had to save on the stuff. Okay, so there's that. And then there's those. Let's just put those over there. Love my better press. Yeah! I don't do what he wants right away. I wait until he's not bugging me, right? Okay, so there's that. There's that. And then let's do a clean on this one. Simon Hurley inks. Look at that. Clean up. The only thing is, I wish I would have taken my acetate just a little bit something just scarred that. Interesting. To the edge, because the edge of my machine here is so yucky. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. Like, it's so gross. It's so gross. It looks like grubby walls. And I know about grubby walls. I have grubby walls. I haven't cleaned the walls in a while. Okay. So if I were to do this again with the acetate, maybe if I can get that clean, I would take the acetate off the edge, because there's a little wiggle room. There's a little wiggle room in the machine, right? And I cut my acetate to be a little bit on the inside, and I probably shouldn't have. Next time I will take the acetate all the way to the edge. So when I wipe, it does. That's the problem, is I wiped off and it got on there. And yeah. Let's put this guy away. Let's see what we have in the not holiday season, because, well, that ship is sailing. Wait, do we actually have... Let's see, what do we have? We have nutcrackers. Wait, where's my rabbits? Oh, you know what? I love these guys. My seahorses. Seahorses. Ah, that's a big one. Ooh, we could do that and watercolor it. That might be fun. Or that one. I'm looking. I don't know all the things I have because, well, I don't use them. I don't use them enough. Oh, you know what? What if we did... Come back here. We're going to do two. We're going to do two for one. And we're going to see. It might flatten it out. It'll be fine. Because we don't know. We don't know what we're doing. So there's better press. We flip it over. We get our paper. And we're back to using our heavy stuff. We're going to put that there. We're going to remember what we did. Oh, we put it in here. We didn't even pull the tape off. We just stuck them in here. I need my tape back. So we're going to put you there. And we're going to put you there. And then we're going to put you back in here. Get in there, heathen. Okay, so we're gonna set this up so it's in the A2 area. A2 area. Okay. And then this one's a big one. That one is ginormous. It's fine though. No, it's not. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not say we did. Oh my goodness, my fingers. I think I work better with long nails. I feel kind of dumb with these nails. Okay. We're gonna put this down this side. And then we're going to figure out where this is going to go. So this, I think if we do here, then I would have a piece here and here. No, I'm doing it backwards. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. We're going to come off the page here. So when I flip, it actually needs to be on this side. There we go. We'll just turn it over. And then we'll get this guy here. So that when we flip, the tape is over here and it's not going to get in the way. Like so. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, and then we're going to ink this with... I think we're going to ink it in pink and then watercolor, maybe? Yeah, it's a hunkin' one, right? But we're going to do it. This is a good foil plate. You just got to cut bigger paper. And we're going to do pink. Again, no shims, right? I don't have my shims. Yeah, the shims are over there. Shim, shim, shiroo. Okay, so we did pink, and then we got to give it a haircut because these little guys, if they escape they will siphon the ink out of there. Don't let those hairs dangle, you guys. They will siphon your stuff out, and you will be highly upset. Now that is sitting in the ink a little bit. It's okay. Don't fret. It'll be all right. Because we have everything taped down. Okay. We've got our pink. We've got that. We're going to set that aside because we're going to... Oops. That was rude. Our tape is running out. You can't use the tape a bazillion times. But holy moly, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, I know, right? We could... Nope, you stay put. Okay, and then we're gonna go... I don't know if this is gonna work. We don't know these things. We're gonna put that guy there. We're gonna do that guy there. We're gonna do that guy there. And then that guy there. And then that guy there. And then we're going to take very carefully we're going to take that guy off. And then we're going to do this guy. This is where I don't know. I don't know. We're going to put this guy here. Or here. We'll put this guy here. And then we did pink. I think pink and black would be really nice. We're going to do the text. We're going to do the text there in black. But we're going to do pink butterflies. I don't know. Okay, and then we're going to get our lid. And then we're going to tape this right back where it was, because we have the guidelines, so we know. But we're going to tape it on the other side. That one might be all right. You know what? We'll put a teeny bit here so it doesn't flop down like it did before. We need you to stay. Okay, and then we're going to pull this. We're going to flip it. We're going to stick it. And then we're going to go again. We're going to go it again. Yes, it is a magnet. Yes, it is a magnet. However, when you put the acetate between the magnet and the plate, it makes it less of a magnet, so it slides around a little teeny bit. But I have not had any problems with it. That was so light, I feel like it may not have even embossed, but it had to have, because it's not like a sandwich. It's just the thingy and the thingy. Yeah, tape will not last forever. Even though we try our bestest to make it last. Look, this tape is like, girl, we've had our day in the sun. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I wish, okay. I should have used a blacker black. The Better Plus black is not like black. But look at that. We can still feel the texture of this. This went over the top of that just fine. Our little butterflies, they are impressed. They're not deeply impressed. Again, I'm using hot foil plates. That is not recommended. But I have removed all of the shims. And I'm doing this at my own risk. But wowzers. Isn't that pretty? And I like the imperfections of my butterflies. And that's a result of the hot foil plates not having that coating. So you're not going to get a perfect thing at all. It's not going to be perfect. It's not. I was thinking about adding some watercolor to this, but I think it's fabulous. So here's to adding sentiments on top of. And what's really okay, because the black is not jet black, you can actually see the pink cut through these lines in some areas. So it's, I don't know if you can actually see in the T, that is like, you can see the pink line through there. To avoid that, or to have that, I mean, you can do it this way, or use an ink that might be a little bit stickier. I wonder, oh, please hold on. What if we take that off? Little butterflies. Wasn't that cute? I just picked them all up. And I have added a magnet to the Spellbinders picker-upper thingy because some of these plates are super heavy that this doesn't pick it up. However, adding a magnet to has voided the release mechanism. So there is that. But at least you can pick it up without burning your fingers or getting your fingers completely icky. So here's my thought on this. Come here, you. We had this here. What if I'm going to clean this up. So we've taken this out of the package. It's new. It's used for foil, whatever. What if I don't know if it's going to make it any better. This is my A2 because I'm going to use an A2 paper. I'm going to see about maybe this time doing it this way so I can have a butterfly, and put a butterfly there and there maybe. But what if we add a little bit of sticky? I don't know. Will it make a difference? I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard to even tell if it's like inked up all the way. And then we're going to get this and we're going to get off for Duff and we're going to come over here and get our freshman tape. We're going to put this in the A2. We have this corner free, that corner free, and that corner free. Free of metal. So we have that corner free. Girl, let's try just a little bit here. There we go. We have this corner free. And then we have this corner free. Okay, and then we're gonna flip, stick, Abraham, I thought I was just opposite, but I may be You can use hot foil plates. No. You 100% can use the hot foil plates or the better press plates on the hot foil machine. Okay. So here's the thing. Letter press plates are thinner than the glimmer foil plates. A lot of people are really happy because the better press plates have a funky coating on them that is allowing them to conduct the heat differently and they foil better. According to some people, they foil better than the foil plates, but because they are skinnier, they are safer to use in your foil machine. You're taking a risk putting the foil plates on the better press because they are thicker, and so that's why I've taken my shims out, so that it doesn't like over push into the plastic and break the thing. This was so I don't know, because even if you watch the Simon Hurley, he foiled his, and he tells you don't do the glimmer. And then the new hot, or the new I don't. Simon Hurley. I thought it was one that I owned. Maybe I was shopping. Hold on, because I think even the new packaging. Hot foil, butter press. Oh, for Pete's sakes. That's Altenew. Altenew. Maybe it's not Spellbinder's plates. Somebody's plates say foil and better press. Somebody's does. I don't know who. Oh, stop talking and reveal the image. No! What? And greetings, PJB Stampa. How are ya? Okay, so let us see if we got a better inking on our hot foil plate that doesn't have the texture, that doesn't particularly like the ink. Let's see if we got a better inking. Ready, set. Is it darker? That is weird. It's like two different pinks, but it's maybe it dries back differently, or maybe my plate was dirty. I don't think I inked it up before, but I would say no. I don't know. Actually, I would say yes, and for this reason alone. So this is just straight ink, and I don't know if you guys can see. We're gonna try and focus, but see here these little glubs of ink, like it pooled. Okay, this is straight ink on the plate. This is inked on the plate after we've put Versa mark on it. The little glubs are not as all over the place. I mean, we have a little one there and one there. We have a little bit up here. these little gloves, but we have gloves all over the place on this one, like all over. The line work is much cleaner on this one, I feel. Is that a product of... Because see, this one here, we can see we've got a lot of oversaturation, but it's only a little bit here. So I don't know if that's the help of the Versamark. And then the color variation, that is kind of weird. But these butterflies, I wonder if my plate was just dirty. I don't even know. Because we didn't use Versamark here, and those look like the same color. And I only have the one pink. So this is the only pink I have. So it's weird. I don't know why it's... Even on this, it looks like two different pinks. But then this pink looks like this. It could have been dirty. We don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. It just looks a lot cleaner. And we're going to want to be careful and make sure it's dry, because there was a little glub there and it looks like I brushed that little glub and it smeared. So be careful. But yeah, because we've placed this way, right? And I would recommend, if you're doing mass production, do this plate first on all the cards, because you just slap them on. Slap it, slap it, slap. And then once you're done, you can take your little butterflies and plop them all around. Like glitter. So we've got those on there like glitter, right? And then we can get this guy out of there, like so. And then we can add our birthday sentiment, like so. Let me clean this and try it with, or not. Hold on a sec. We got to add some water to clean. Can you run it again because you haven't moved the paper? You could potentially. Here's the thing. Because the magnet, with my acetate, the magnet is not as magnety. So when my machine clunks at the end, like it's rolly and then clunk, it's possible that the metal could shift. And I won't. But yeah. So my goal today was just to use the better press, to use the things. And some of the things I don't use are even the hot foil plates. So let's make sure we put that upright, right? So we're going to do that upright, and we're going to do again, because that's what we're going to test. Try not to move too much. You see how easily they move, because my magnet is a little bit interfered with. Because that little, even though it's just a thin piece of plastic, it does hinder the quality of that. I think I'm going to put it there. And then we're going to do the black on this. And of course, you can avoid all of the movies and just have it right on the magnet board, you guys. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to put that right back there. And then we're going to do our little bitty butterflies. Maybe that one doesn't want to get some ink in there. And we're just going to make sure that one's in there. If it overlaps the other thing, it's fine. It's fine. And then we're going to set this back on here and redo the taping because we let it fall out. My bad. We're going to put that there. We're going to put that. Wait, is there a butterfly there? No, there's no butterfly there. We're good. We're good. We're going to put that there. And then we'll be done because we've done a lot. Yes, we're trying to see if inking with Versamark on the glimmer plates will make them more accepting of the ink, because it's kind of a sticky ink, right? But it may not do anything, and that's what we're seeing. But I feel like it did something the first round. I feel like it did something. Okay, ready, set. No, we want better quality looky. Why is this camera? There we go. I would say, yeah. For whatever reason. Oh, and our butterfly moved. It moved a lot, but it's okay. It's okay. But look it. Just look at the crispy. The issue of the crispy. That's a lot darker. It's the same ink. But because we put Versamark down first, we put Versamark and then we did that, we got a much darker image. And I got to be careful because we can see some pulling there, some extra ink there. And then our little bitty butterflies. Oh, look. No. Check that out. Our butterflies have changed color. It's like drying back differently. That is so bizarre. It's the same ink. I know. It's crazy. But yeah. So, we've got a little bitty butterfly that went over a little bit. It's all right, though. Again, it would have stayed better if the acetate wasn't there. We could have totally inked it first before moving this plate, and then the butterflies would have been in the right place. But I like it. It would still go out to somebody. It'll be fine. And we did use the archival waterproof, so you can go back and add some watercolory bits if you're so inclined. But yeah, it's drying back oddly. It's kind of cool though. Same same ink. So weird. So weird. Because these are looking more like the same color. Earlier they weren't. They were like two different colors. But there it is, my friends. So, at your own risk, if you use hot foil plates, take out the shims. Take out the shims, because these plates are thicker than the better press plates. They're thicker. Okay? And I know they're thicker because without a shim, I have pressed into this paper. I can feel the texture. I could probably add one more shim, add one shim and have a deeper impression. But when I have no shims with my better press plates, it just sits right on top. There's no impression. So, always start with no shims, even with your better press plates. When you first get the machine and you're running it through, try it with no shims, because your die cutting machine and this, they're not all created equal. Maybe there's more height, a smidge, all sorts of weird stuff can be a factor. So run your stuff without the shims first. If you're like, oh, it impressed, but not a lot, then add one shim. If it didn't impress at all, add two shims, kind of thing. But do a test, because just like the Gemini Junior, I ran it through like everybody else. And it bananaed my plates. And I set it aside and I didn't use it for like 2 years. Okay. My systems are different than everybody else's. Somebody's going to find that my advice is helpful because their systems is like my systems. If you're doing hot foil plates and you're like, girl, mine's not, I took out the shims, but it's not indenting, then your system's a little bit different than mine. Put a shim in. Oh, that might be... Well, I was going to let you go. I was. Thanks, Abraham. I don't know if I have 800 or 1,000. Let me go look. Where's my sandpaper? Here's those. Somebody stole my sandpaper! Well, okay, fine. Somebody stole my sandpaper! Well, I'll have to... Abraham, that's a good idea. I'm going to make me a note and grab some finer grit sandpaper. Yeah, because you're right. Finer grit would definitely be better. And then we'll do... Because I don't use the birthday ones, so I can sand this one. I can sand the other birthday one I just used. Here's a sheet. Thanks, Abraham. Yeah. So I will test that. I'm going to put a little thingy and we'll test it. And what we'll do is we'll run it through a couple of times as is. And then we'll run it through a couple of times with the Versamark, because I feel like the one time through, it's interesting. It gave us some results, but I think we need to do multiple runs. We'll run it through multiple times with all by itself. We'll run it through with the Versamark, and then we'll sand it. and then we'll run it through a few times and see if we can get a better impression. Because again, these are not. Should we expect you back in an hour? No, because I have no idea. I would have to go to the store and pick some up, which I can't. But I'll do a recorded video, I think, because it's so nice, so nice. So this is what we did today. We weren't paying attention properly, and that was in the corner. It's okay. Nobody will know. We know. And then our other one. This is our Crafter's Companion one. Our Crafter's Companion one. Where we did archival ink and watercolor, and then we did watercolor or water soluble inks with marker. So we can get lots of techniques with the thing. I really like that one. Yes, stores are closed anyways. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, and wish you all a wonderful day and happy holidays to all those that celebrate all the different things. And a Merry Christmas to all those that like Christmas, like me. It was fun. It was fun. And if you guys want to know what I got for Christmas, I've been buying stuff all year, so I didn't get myself anything. I spent money on the husband and the kids, and I got to watch them open the things. And they were happy. They were happy. Cover your ears, Pam. Those are good impressions. You can yell gel pens, or glitter pens. But because the husband's like, "You sure you don't want anything?" I'm like, I have stuff coming. I have stuff coming from Ranger. I have stuff coming from Amazon. Because next year, 2026, I won't be using the hubby money to purchase crafty supplies. So I gotta convince people to use my affiliate links and all the things and watch the ads. If I have ads, just watch those ads. So then I can buy craft stuff with crafty money. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard, but we can do this. Don't spend the hubby money on craft supplies. Pay the bills. Pay the bills. We can do this. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. And we will see you next time, which will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. One crafty girl, that'll be me. And then if you guys are so inclined, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be hanging out with Ginger Cat Lady on her channel, which I do have the thing posted in the community chat, and I will be posting it in the going live on Discord. I can do it. Thank you. Thank you. No. So, here's my thing. I don't like commercials during my lives. They happen over on Twitch. Which, so you can subscribe to cancel the commercials, but you can't subscribe and cancel the commercials on YouTube. So I would rather just send people to my affiliate links. Go to my affiliate links. If you're hanging out with me over on Twitch, watch those commercials. If you're hanging out with me on TikTok, watch those commercials. But on YouTube, I want to keep that as commercial free as possible so we don't have any interruptions. So you can watch me on like both places. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I hate commercials during a live. But yeah, so But my pre-recordeds will have, I'll see about my pre-recordeds, because I think I can drop like one commercial at the beginning, and I don't mind those. But we'll see. Because I am going to be starting some pre-recorded videos in the new year. Not as much as my lives, though. So, yeah. Most folks don't see them because they have the premium. I don't have premium. And I have clicked out of people. I'm like, oh, that's like too many. I'll go watch something else. I'm really bad. I don't like commercials. But anyways, affiliate links, use them up for all of your crafty friends, because it helps you get what you want and it helps them get what they want. Anyways, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you guys follow me on the TikToks, I will be there at 8 p.m. this evening. I am putting together my present from Blossom. So it's more of a just chat and watch me be weird. I don't either, but I'll eat if you get paid. Watch. I was like, okay. What you gonna eat while you watch? Some candy, some popcorn. That's too funny. What a weird swap of words. Watch and eat. Yeah, I guess so. That's just a funny swipe. I'm like looking at my keyboard going, how does that do that? Anyways, I'm going now. Goodbye. Enjoy your evenings, my friends. Bye-bye.